Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Diamond Select Toys, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Sokka, Deluxe Action Figure. This is from Series 4, and I gotta give a huge shout out to Diamond Select Toys for making this review possible, and it comes in that typical Diamond Select collector-friendly packaging, windowing and showing off the figure with all the accessories. On the back of the package, it shows both figures from Series 4. Just two figures came in Series 4. We got the Final Battle Aang and Sokka, and both of them look really good. We do have some read-up information at the bottom as well. Here's a close-up of the read-up information, so feel free to pause it if you'd like to read it. Sokka comes with a pair of gripping hands equipped. We also get a pair of fist hands. The final pair of hands that we receive are some open palm hands, and I guess that's either to be throwing or catching the boomerang, or just to have his hands up. They're very expressive, and you can have a lot of fun with these hands. Just like Katara, Sokka comes with the 8-piece stand, where you could peg it into his foot, you could use effect pieces on it, and you could change the height and everything. It's a pretty decent stand. And if you didn't like the other stand that he came with, we do get a plain black stand. So that's pretty cool that you can actually have the figure on this stand and then just have the separate effect piece on a separate stand. Here we have an up-close look at one of the effect pieces, and it's this smoky, translucent plastic with a little bit of like paint, I guess, going on in the middle that's making it less translucent. And you can see that they sculpted in the boomerang. It would have been cool to see it painted a little bit because it's hard to see them. But you can see the sculpt work is definitely there, and it's a nice little effect piece. Continuing with the effect pieces, we get another one, and it's translucent at the very tip, and then it gets very, very milky towards the bottom. And again, you could sort of see it. See if it'll focus a little bit. Yeah, you can see the indent a little bit where they sculpted the boomerang. Again, it would have been nice if this would have been painted, so you can really see it pop, instead of it just blending all in with this same color plastic. But still, we got two effect pieces that look like they'll be pretty cool to play around with. Now, Sokka does come with that trusty boomerang as an individual item, and it looks pretty good. White plastic, painted blue. Now, my favorite accessory that Sokka comes with is his bone knife. It's all in that white plastic, painted handle, has sculpted in detail for the teeth, but they went a step further and added like this glossy wash to the teeth to make them look like real teeth. Up close look at Sokka, and he looks pretty awesome. He looks cocky and has like this little smirk to his face. Now, I would have liked to have seen an alternate head of him just being overly goofy, because he was a goofy character in the show, but he also had his serious moments as well. I just wish we had two different head sculpts to really capture those two sides of Sokka. But the figure looks awesome when it comes to the head sculpt, the eyebrows, the blue eyes, his little smirk on his mouth, his hair, how it's like all buzzed down. He has the ponytail or top knot, whatever you want to classify it as. He's got his little necklace on. Now, one thing that I thought, I was just like, it's cool, but I don't know what they were really going with, is we have this string. It's a brown string. I wish they would have did like a strap or something. And it's there, and you can sort of shift it around here. You got like sculpted in stuff painted here. But, you know, you wrap it around, and you got storage for the boomerang. And then you can see where the string, like it's glued. They glued the string in certain areas. They must have missed the glue and have to shift it a couple times. Because, yeah, it's definitely glued down here. This thing's glued down. It's like a rubbery sheath. Peg hole if you want to put them in the flight stand. And again, glued down right here for this as well. Now, when it comes to putting his stuff into the sheath itself, the knife fits pretty good. But this thing, you sort of have to use the boomerang to pry it. And you could see the actual boomerang sliding in there. So you can actually, you can get it in there. You could probably even get it in there further, but I don't know if I'd get it out. But it's cool that he can store his stuff. The knife as well. I'm doing it the wrong way. So you can have all his stuff stored, which is good. I would almost recommend, if you guys are comfortable customizing figures, I'd almost recommend getting rid of the strings and doing like a different type of like pleather type of strapping or something. A little bit wider, flatter, or maybe like a different rope. It just seems too thin. Arms have awesome sculpt work with like his wraps. Same sleeve style as Katara, except his arms are wrapped. He's got some nice little like fingerless gloves. He's got his little tunic piece flapped down. He doesn't have any wool on his outfits. He's got the pants. He's got the boots and the two-tone like wrapping going around it. Looking really good. This is a nice figure. Definitely a pretty big improvement in detail and compared to like Series 1. Diving into some articulation. His head is on that ball. He can look down. Can't really look up that far, but he can look down. Let's see if I can crank it up. Like, sort of, not really. The back of his head sort of stops it. Full 360. A little bit of attitude. Arms can go up, do T-pose. He's got this. Oh, he doesn't have it. I thought he had the same. So he doesn't have the articulated piece up here like Katara did. And then his elbow, it goes up. Well, that's, oh, it's pulling out the peg. So his elbows do the same thing as Katara. That is, I mean, he's throwing boomerangs and stuff, but like, he's not getting as much angle. Like, I wish they, like, because this one definitely looked like, I was like, yes, it's got some nice angle, but as I move it down, like gotta push the peg up a little bit. He has wrist rotation, wrist bends, waist swivel, no hula hooping, just back and forth. It's a little bit tougher. Yeah, he's got the hip system that you not a fan of, but you can see it if I do it like this, but you can do that far in splits. It's got thigh cut up there. He can't kick forward at all. He does have double jointed knees. Those kick back nice. No, I was looking if there's boot cut or anything. Nope. He's got ankle bend. And then there's pivot in there as well. Sokka does look pretty awesome using the effect piece. You know, great for figure photography. I mean, you just basically could just edit out this part and it would look like he's throwing his boomerang. Now, trying to get the arc and stuff like that, I'm not a professional boomerang thrower or anything like that. So I'm just sort of positioning it up where it looks neat to me. But yeah, it's still a cool effect. And I like how there's a separate stand that you can articulate, you know, however angle and position you want. Finally, you can hook up the other effect piece similar to the other one, and it still looks pretty good. Again, been nice to see a little bit of paint on the boomerangs that are in that effect piece, but you can easily do that yourself. And here we have a side-by-side comparison of Series 1 Katara with Series 4 Sokka, and honestly, they almost look like night and day. And as I'm looking at this, I do realize that Sokka's paint on his, well, the color of his tunic is off. It should be a dark blue with the white striping, like it has around the edge. And I don't recall if he had sleeves up here. I thought it was bare armed. It went like short sleeve, bare arm, and then the wraps. Maybe just freedom of, I guess artistic freedom, should I say, for the sculptor or designer. But when you're looking at them side by side, it's just, they don't really fit. Like, he needs to be slightly taller. She looks thicker, and he looks way too realistic. The head sculpt's awesome, but it's not gonna blend well with that Katara because they didn't give equal designs across. Like, if they would have gave her a serious head sculpt, it probably would have fit, but his eyes definitely, to make this work, should have been a little bit bigger. And then they could have gave us a cartoonier face. So, I mean, if you go out throughout the series, they all had this, like, art style for the eyes like that at some point, and then she even got the serious look at some point. It just depends on what was going on in the episode or the series, but the fact is they should have been a little bit more consistent. But that's really just like setting these up side by side. I mean, that's from series 1 all the way to series 4, so pretty big jump in the series, but just wanted you guys to see the side by side comparison of brother and sister. So in the end, the Sokka piece looks really good. He's just a lot more realistic and less cartoony compared to some of the other figures. So it's going to be a solid Sokka to have on your avatar shelf, but he may not blend in as nicely as you would like. That's why I think it would have been nice to have that alternate head to have it blend in a little bit more with that cartoony style. But the Sokka does have a lot of effects and hand pieces. There's just little things that are nitpicky, like the double jointed elbows would have been so much nicer than the elbow system they're using. And they could have just used that plastic like strapping that Katara had on her water bottle versus using like the string here, because it just doesn't really fit with the figure as much. It's like you have this little string of soft goods. But I mean, the figure looks good. If you pose him up, put him on a shelf, he's going to look good. You just got to make sure your avatar figures that you sit with them can blend in with that more realistic, sort of serious facial expression. But that sums up my unboxing and review of Diamond Select Toys Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender Series 4. If you guys are enjoying my content and you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me, as it'll mean the world to me and it helps the channel evolve and grow. And make sure you guys hit the silver bell notification so you know when I post up a new video. Also, go check out Diamond Select Toys. All their links and information are down below. And go check out some of the figures yourself. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.